À la pointe sud du continent africain, ce pays a longtemps été tristement célèbre pour son régime raciste, l'apartheid. Dans les années 50, les afrikaners descendants des colons européens sont au pouvoir. Cette minorité blanche met en place des règles extrêmement strictes et opprime la majorité noire. Les personnes de couleur sont chassées des centres-villes et parquées dans d'immenses ghettos. Des sous-citoyens qui n'ont ni le droit de vote, ni l'autorisation de circuler librement dans le pays. Un régime qui perdure jusqu'au début des années 90. E.F.F, en français, les combattants pour la liberté économique. Ce mouvement entend redonner toutes les richesses du pays aux Noirs.
Let me give you a weather forecast here. Blue skies, beautiful day, amazing sea, and not one cafe in sight. Fucking heaven on earth. You cannot beat this. You cannot beat this.
Twitter and other social media networks. I can't confirm exactly when it started doing the rounds, but we only know that since yesterday the video went viral. We also can't confirm exactly where he took the video, but we've given the police all his contact information. We have the pig's ID number. He name called us, so we can name call him. In fact, name calling him is the least we can do. We can't confirm, his safety and all of that because all his information is now publicly known. His company's headquarters is here in Qu'il. We've given the police the physical address. We've given them all information that we have related to him. We also have names of his partners. There's 5 directors that he has in the company that they own the smokehouse and grill through. What the E.F.F will not tolerate in the course of us fighting for economic justice, because we are done now with the reconciliation discussion. We don't want reconciliation. You can't rape a person and apologize. When you rape someone, you must first go to jail, do your time, come out and apologize. Likewise, white people must just give us back our land. We are following the constitutional processes. We are doing everything in our power to prove that we are law-abiding people and that our organization respects the Constitution of South Africa by participating in all the public participation processes for the Constitution to be reviewed so that Section 25 can be amended progressively to permit Africans to get back their land in South Africa. Now, while we are fighting that struggle, we are hoping and praying that white people get the message that any other injustice beyond the land and economic inequalities that we have to endure as Africans, we are not going to tolerate name calling. We are not going to stand by and allow any white person feeling the privilege they've endured over 376 years at our expense. We are not going to be tolerant of being called the K word or any other name. We're not going to tolerate and stand by while white people humiliate our people on a daily basis. We know that white men are raping domestic workers behind the security of their privileged walls. Now, unfortunately, we don't get a lot of those cases thanks to the very useless criminal justice system, which are the police, the NPA, and the courts. As it is, if we can share with you the hostility that we received here at the police station before the journalists came in, where the police were giving us the cold shoulder and almost trying to give an impression that they won't allow us to open a case, asking us to explain the racism and all of that. So we are hoping that lastly, now that we've opened the case, they will obviously have to do the necessary. They'll have to send us the case number very expeditiously. They will have to allocate an investigating officer. If they don't do that by this time tomorrow, we'll obviously have to write a letter to the Minister of Police or the Provincial Commissioner in Gauteng and demand those details. We have given them everything. We have given them evidence, which is the video. We have given them the guy's address. We have given them even his ID number. There's nothing for them to do. They must go and arrest. So if they have not arrested him by, let's say, 5 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to have no choice but maybe on Friday come back to the police station and have a picket, not just us opening a case, to demand speedy and swift justice, because what we endured through that video is not something that we can live with another day.
Sis Mandisa, a direct question to you. Will any of your fighters and ground troopers be visiting this gentleman's head offices like you did in your unorthodox methods when you dealt with H&M?
Well, we have not as yet ourselves issued an instruction or a directive. We generally don't do that. All members of E.F.F. are activists. All members of E.F.F. are ground forces. In fact, they do what they do daily to inspire the rest of you who are too cowardly to stand against injustice. They are simply demonstrating to put that kind of pressure on our 10,000 members or 50,000. How many are they? 50,000 members in 10,000, maybe Johannesburg, 50,000 members in Gauteng is too much. There's 12 million citizens here. A huge, overwhelming majority of the 12 million citizens of Gauteng and almost 60 million citizens of South Africa who are majority black, let's say 50 million of that are black. You should all be asking yourselves why you are not visiting the head office. But if needs be, of course, on the ground, we will mobilize and make sure that we confront the racists. But what we will do, we're going to call for a total shutdown and consumer boycott of all smokehouse and grill, whatever it's called, smokehouse and grill outlets. We don't want to see a single black person going into those restaurants and supporting racists. Somebody was telling us earlier, one of your colleagues in the media was telling us that his company has forced him to resign. We don't care. We don't care. They can do whatever they want to help make themselves feel better. We know that white people in South Africa are racist, all of them. And we know that majority of Indians are racist, right? Because of the privilege they enjoy. And they enjoy that privilege at our expense. Economic disparities, poverty, inequality, landlessness, the terrible services we get from government, all those things are contributing towards basically the abuse of a black person. So the only reason white people feel comfortable even blatantly recording a video and putting it viral is because they have no respect for us. And of course, it's correct. They won't respect us until we have full control of our lives and the land is fully back within the control and ambit of black people's ownership in totality, and we can get rid of poverty. Until then, the ultimate struggle is on the economic landscape.
If he can refer to black people in the K word as he did in that video, what makes you think he is not doing and saying those kind of words directly to his employees at his outlets and at his head offices? What will he be doing to ensure that those workers are not subjected to such racism?
The biggest problem has also been this selling out tendency of the ANC, right? We have a motion next week in the Gauteng legislature, for instance, to demand that racism must be criminalized. It must not just be a prosecutable offense in this sense, right? Or in a civil sense, go to the Equality Court, South African Human Rights Commission, the most useless entity. And I will take personal responsibility for calling the South African Human Rights Commission useless. E.F.F. must not be held responsible for that. It's my own personal experience that they are useless. We need racism to be criminalized. I said earlier to you that we know that white men are raping domestic workers in their homes. We know that white people are doing all sorts of unthinkable things to all of you in the newsrooms, your editors, frustrating you. You've got no editorial authority. Even black editors don't have editorial authority. They must go to the white bosses to check, is it okay for me to focus on this issue today? Even today, I'm sure you had to get permission to come here from some of your white bosses. So we know that this Adam guy is extremely abusive. You must understand, if he had the balls to do what he did and then put it viral on a video, what is he doing to a black person in closed spaces of confinement? We need racism to be criminalized. We need our land back. We are sick and tired of racists.
Bye.